Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. This is the finale of our adventure. Over the last 5 episodes we have come to every mansion in the game and collected all 5 of Dracula's body pieces. His rib from Burgley Mansion, his heart from Rover Mansion, his eyeball from, which one was that, Brahms Mansion, his nail from Bodley Mansion, and in the last episode, his ring from Laruba Mansion, where we defeated Carmilla to also get the magic cross, which will allow us to get to his castle. Now, to get there, what a horrible night to have a curse. Yeah, we've seen that plenty of times. It's a meaningless statement to this point. Now, to get there, we're effectively going to have to retrace our steps from the last episode. There's this long lake of poisonous water here, but this just takes us to the eastern part of an area we've already been, and there's nothing there, so there's no point wasting the laurels to get through there. What we want to do is head to the right. We want to go and equip our laurels, and we want to use them to get through this as quickly as possible. Again, we don't want to fight anything here. With the laurels, we're effectively invincible. We have a ton of them to spare, so we can just burn through them just to get through all of this unscathed. We don't really have any need for them at this point, so... Now, in addition to all of this, we don't actually need to worry about things like game overs anymore and all the rest of that, because from this point on, the only reason we've worried about it up to this point is because we didn't want to waste the hearts. But at this stage in the game, hearts are completely meaningless. They don't do anything. We have nothing more to buy. So we're good to just die and respawn right where we are with all of our loot. That's perfectly fine now. Although I will say that the fact that the fireballs from the firemen spread along on the ground is doing us in there. They were doing a fair job at beating us. Dracula's rib is good for blocking them, but you have to be holding completely still, not doing anything when you do, so that's why that isn't that effective. Now, we also upgraded in the last episode our whip to its final form, the Flame Whip, which is why it's now doing so much damage. It's a very powerful tool now. But, to be honest, there's nothing really left in the game for us to go and find. The only objective we have now is just to head straight to Dracula's castle. We got all of the secrets, got all of the sub-weapons, we got everything the game can really offer us. There's nothing more to collect, nothing more to find. We've even got all of the hint books. It really is just head this way and go to Dracula's castle. Now, we could break those if we had Dracula's nail equipped, but we can also just use our holy water, like so. We can jump over that guy, don't need to fight him. And this is why we had that staircase. In the last episode we tried to take it to get down there and we ended up falling into the water and dying. Now we had to use the red crystal to open the way to the lake here, to get into that, which was the Utaloa path. And this is Bodley Mansion, the one we took in the episode before last, the one we destroyed. We technically have already gone this way, but we didn't get far, because we ultimately decided it wasn't worth it. We went this way to heal, and then we ended up not needing to, because we died and got all of our health back that way. But hence why it's good to have the sealed. Right, we'll let that guy turn the other... Oh wow, okay. He's very quick on the draw if he gets the opportunity to fly back away. Right, Medusa's heads, not much of a danger in this game in comparison to the last one. And the morning sun has vanquished the horrible night. That's good. It should make everything here a little less tanky. Which, to be fair, with everything else is fine, it's just the birdmen. They're pretty tanky for how dangerous they are, otherwise. Now, this is the town of Doina, and there's not really anything we need here. The only thing we're going to look for is here. This is the last church of the game. Last point to heal without just dying and healing brute forcing the heal that way. But if you're trying to go without dying, then this is your last opportunity to do so, even though we've still got a fair amount to go. But otherwise, there's nothing more to buy, there's no one we need to talk to upgrade anything. We can just head straight out the left side and go to a bridge. I believe that this is the North Bridge. And to be honest, it's just like every other bridge in the game. You run around and occasionally some fishmen pop up. You just wait for them to leave. Or you take them out as they jump if they offer the opportunity. But else you just kind of sit there. Once you have Dracula's rib, they're really no trouble. They throw out a couple of fireballs and then they hop straight back in. And especially with the Flame Whip, we can destroy them in one hit in the daylight. Not really a threat to anyone. Right, these are some two-headed creatures. They're pretty dangerous just because of the speed of their fireballs. And I don't know why we got turned around there, but that's fine. Right, we've got a little more marshland to go. We'll burn a laurel and hope that that's it for the game. Because we ran out of them, so we better not need any more now. Now, this is a split path. We can go to the right if we wanted to, but apparently there's nothing there. It's just a massive detour that leads to nothing. So instead, we're going to go down, and this should take us to the town of Yomi. Let's see. If we enter a town, this is it. This is the last town of the game. I don't believe there's anything here at all. Like, let's see. Maybe if we throw some Dracula's water, some holy water around, maybe. There's a couple of NPCs to talk to, apparently, but that's pretty much it. I believe it's, seeing as this is the closest town to Dracula's castle, I'm going to assume the idea is it's desolate, it's been abandoned, or it's been attacked, or whatever. But point is there's nothing here. Let's see. Yes, there's this one lady here who just says that let's live here together after our quest is complete. And, well, I'm not going to go in too far, but considering we're going for the bad ending, that's not likely, I'm afraid. Right, this is Vrad Graveyard, not Vlad, Vrad Graveyard. But the only confusing thing here is that the gravestones, as much as they look like background assets, are actually very much part of the level design. Now, the only danger here were those eagles, because I find their attack pattern really confusing. But these are park skeletons, they're super easy. They're like a bunch of other enemies in the game, but slightly tankier. But seeing as we're in the daylight, they're no threat. Right, we can throw the holy water here to destroy these blocks, but we might as well use Dracula's nail. That would not have been passable until we had collected the magic cross and all the rest of that. But now we just carry along this long, long bridge. And of course it turns to night as we're going across it. Why wouldn't it? There we are. I don't believe there's any enemies to worry about on this section anyway, so it's all fine. And here we are. Music has changed and we have entered the remains of Dracula's castle. Castlevania from the first game. You might recognise to some extent this being the first area of the game, the bit where you break in. To be honest, it's a bit of an anticlimax as like the final area of the game. There's really no there's nothing here. There's no enemies, there's no traps. It's a very desolate part of the castle. And again, at this point we've got all of the hint books, we've got all of the items, there's not even anything to find. It really is just a case of you slowly go through all of these corridors, drop down all of these pits. Let's jump over here. To slowly make your way forward. Now, I believe that might be Dracula's arena down there. The final point of the game, let's see. Okay, so we're coming up to the final section of the game, the very final boss, if you will. And I'm going to be honest here, there are apparently two ways to deal with him. There is a sort of legitimate way, where you can kind of let him take off some attacks and all the rest of it, and you can really let him do what he's supposed to do. Or you can do what you've done with every other boss in the game, most likely, and completely cheese him with apparently very little difficulty. So, as much as we're about to go fight the final boss of the game, seeing as everything up to this point, we've just kind of cheesed all of the other bosses, we've cheesed Death, we've cheesed Carmilla, I don't think we need to give him the respect of actually fighting him legitimately. I reckon that we're well within our right to go and just let him have it. So, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to cheese him. I'm going to let him get done. Here we are, final cutscene of the game. We throw all of Dracula's remains into the plinth to perform this ritual and destroy him forevermore. But unfortunately, there's one bit we missed out on. One final part. Oh, I say we're gonna cheese him, but I've got the wrong item out, so slightly more dangerous than it seemed. Okay, that was very unsuccessful. But I promise you it is very easy to cheese him if you're not using... If you got the right item equipped, it's very easy. That was just a case of me... I was supposed to use the Sacred Flame and I didn't realise I was using the Holy Water instead. But trust me, it's a lot easier than I was making it out to be there. Break through all of these. Back the way we came. It's at least a nice change of music. As much as this has some very recognisable tracks, or, you know, I'll go on to be themes of the franchise over and over and over again. Vampire Killer and the like. It does get a bit repetitive hearing them over and over and over again, so it is good to finally get a slightly different piece of music. Right, this time we're going to cheese him. But you got a little bit of what his attack pattern is there. He effectively flies around, he fires off the occasional scythe, and then is otherwise just kind of teleporting around. But here we go. We throw all of the items back onto the altar again. We burn them, but oh, look at that. There's secretly a sixth body part that we didn't know about, and that's what allows Dracula to resurrect rather than just being I've got the holy water again. I forget that I'm starting this with the Sacred Flame. Holy water. Right, see, here's what you need to do to cheese him. You can just do this and let him have it. Like this over and over and over again. If you got the hearts, you can just spam him. And eventually, after a little while, he goes down. Ooh, that's some crunchy music. Although the confrontation, this is, you know, your usual NES text, takes ages, between Simon and Dracula, has concluded. I don't know who they were designing this text for in these old games. They just take so long. Simon couldn't survive his fatal wounds. Yes, to my surprise, it turns out that we didn't actually get the bad ending, which is where that's Simon's grave. It looks like that despite everything, all of the grinding we did, and all of the detours we took, we actually still managed to get the neutral ending, which is beat the game between 7 and 14 days. You get the bad ending if you do it in over 14, you get the good ending if you get it in under 7. If you get it between the two, you get the neutral ending. So, yeah, to my surprise, that's actually a better ending than I thought it would be, to be entirely honest. I thought that would be worse. Over evil and rid the city of Dracula's deadly curse. I love these old, like, Japanese NES games where they just were like, Transylvania? Yeah, that's like a city, isn't it? What do you mean it's a region? So yeah, there you go. That is Simon's Quest. Completed it eventually. Took us a little while, but we did do it. And 100%ed as well. We got all of the whip upgrades, we got all of the sub-weapons and all of the extra bonus items and all the rest of that. So, a successful... I'm taking the neutral ending as a win. I really did think we were on the way to the bad ending. I'll be entirely honest. So yeah, I'm taking that as a win. I know the ending said that Simon was dead, but I don't know. He was pretty clearly alive in front of that grave. I do find it funny that they went and buried Dracula. That seems like a bit of respect that you didn't really have to hand the guy. But anyway, that is Simon's Quest complete. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative, seeing as this is a very confusing game. Having that guide to guide you through the game, I hope it ends up being useful. I'll link the game facts guide that I was using to get through this in the description, so that, you know, to give credit to them. It's by RJ Harrison and BK Stunt 31. So thanks a ton, guys, because I would not have gone through it that quickly if I didn't have that handy. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you tune in next time. Adios for now, and so, here's what we're playing next.